everyone. Hopefully everyone's doing awesome today. We are going to do gas and go calculations. Gas and go calculations, discovering math through road trips in Minnesota state parks. We're going to go. Yay, this will be fun. So, first thing is, what are we going to be doing today? Well, our activity road trip budget. Let's see if I can make this a little larger for everybody. Okay. This is my first time on YouTube, so all right, that looks pretty good. And road trip budget. You're planning a road trip and need a budget for gas. Your car or RV gets 25 miles per gallon, and you plan to drive between various state parks in Minnesota. First, write the price per gallon of gas in the blanks provided. Then use the distances provided to calculate how much you will spend on gas for each trip. Now, the equation we're going to be using is total cost equals total miles divided by miles per gallon, and that will be 25 because that's what our car gets, times the total cost per gallon. Let's start. We are going to start from Itasca State Park to Voyageurs National Park. If you'd like to learn more about Itasca State Park or Voyageurs National Park, in the worksheet that I have provided, just click on one of the links and you'll go straight there. Another interesting note is Another interesting note is Itasca State Park is where the Mississippi River starts. That's pretty neat. All right, let's get started here. So let's say that the gas price, now I'm just going to guess, is, let's say, $3.25. Okay, that's what our gas is going to be. Now, let's follow our formula. So our total cost is going to be the total number of miles. It's 180 miles between the two parks divided by, now our car or RV gets 25 miles per gallon. So that's going to be divided by 25. We're going to multiply by the cost per gallon. And I decided it's going to be $3.25 today. Now, the first thing we want to do is we want to divide right here. We're going to take 25 into 180. Now, sure, we could reduce the fraction, but I would like to focus on decimals today. Now, does 25 go into 1? No. Does 25 go into 18? No. Does 25 go into 180? Well, I'm pretty sure it does. I'm just not sure how many times. Hopefully you know that there are 4 quarters in a dollar. So 25 times 4 is 100. Now we need a little more than 100. Let's take 25 times 6. All right, 5 times 6 is 30. Put our 3 here. 6 times 2 is 12, 13, 14, 15. And let's try 7. That's pretty close. 25 times 7. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 2 is 14, 15, 16, 17. So it looks like we can get 7 out of there. So we're going to put a 7 here. Minus 175. When we subtract, we get 5. Now we need to keep going. So here's my decimal. I'm going to put a 0 here. I'm going to bring it straight down. Yikes. Kind of close there, but how many quarters are in 50 cents or how many 25s are in 50? There's 2, because 2 times 25 is 50. All right. So now what is this going to look like? We're going to have 7.2, because that's what our fraction turned into, times 3.25. Now let's rewrite that. I think I have enough room here. Maybe have enough room to do all of our multiplication. Times 7.2 0.2. I'm going to have to bring my picture down just a little bit. Now we're multiplying, so we don't have to line up our decimals. We're just going to multiply it like usual. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 2 times 3 is 6. Now what we have to do is we have to add a 0 and then multiply regular again. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 2 is 14, 15, 16, 17. And then 7 times 3 is 21, 22. All right. Now we're going to add straight down. We have a 0. 5 plus 5 is 10. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Then a 3, 2. Now we have to count our decimal places. So we're going to go 1, 2. So we have 2 decimal places here. We have 1 decimal place here. So that means we have to move 3 decimal places in our answer. 1, 2, 3. That gives us 23.400. Now we're talking about money, so we don't need all of those decimal places. It'll be $23.40. And that's what it's going to cost for the gas for us to drive 180 miles from Itasca State Park to Voyageurs National Park. Now remember, this doesn't account stopping, go, stop, go, or the speed limit or anything like that. But it's kind of a nice number to know when we're just budgeting. Let's look at the next one. Okay. We're going to go from Voyageurs National Park to Gooseberry Falls State Park. Oh, Gooseberry Falls is an amazing state park. They have a beautiful waterfall there. The distance is 150 miles. And once again, if you're interested in any of these parks, I have a little link on the handouts. This time, let's say the price for gas is, how about $3.95? Okay. All right. So once again, we're going to make our equation. We are going 150 miles. Our vehicle gets 25 miles per gallon times how much it is per gallon, $3.95. All right, let's do our long division. This one won't be too bad. We're going to take 25 into 150. Now remember, there are 4 quarters. Let me write that here. 4 quarters equal $1. All right. So 2 quarters equal 50 cents. So 4, 5, 6. Let's try 6. 25 times 6, 30, 12, 13, 14, 15. Perfect. Minus 150. Okay. Now we're going to rewrite our fraction again. I should have given myself a little bit more room. Equals. Now instead of 150 over 25, we're going to write 6 times 395. Now let's multiply that. 395 times 6. Now when we multiply, we don't worry about the decimals. We just multiply as usual. 6 times 5 is 30. Well, we don't worry about the decimals to the end. 9 times 6 is 54, 55, 56, 57. Fifty, 54, 55, 56, 50. Okay. 6 times 3 is 18. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. All right. Now we're going to move We're going to move 2 decimal places. We have to, that didn't work too good. 2 decimal places. So we have to move 2 decimal places in our answer. Let's do that. 1, 2. And remember, this is money. So that'll cost approximately $23.70. All right, cool. We're going to keep working here. Now, we want to go from Gooseberry Falls State Park to Split Rock Lighthouse State Park. Oh, if you've never been to Split Rock Lighthouse, it is beautiful. But let's write our equation here. And it's not too far. It's only 20 miles from Gooseberry Falls, where we just visited. We're going to take 20 divided by 25 because our vehicle gets 25 miles per gallon. Oh, not in equals. We're going to put multiply here. And let's say our gas is 3.27. That's what our gas is per gallon. So we're going to multiply by 3.27. All right, cool. Next, we're going to take 25 into 20. Okay, now 25 doesn't go into 20, so I'm going to have to put a decimal point here, add a 0. Well, how many 25s are in 200? Well, if there's 4 quarters equal $1, 8 quarters will equal $2. Now, why am I talking about quarters? It's because quarters is worth 25 cents. So we're going to have 0.8. Now we're going to double check it here. We're going to take 25 times 8. 5 times 8 is 40. 8 times 2 is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. So we're going to subtract 200. Okay. I'm just going to see if anybody has any questions or comments. Nope, I don't see anything. All right. Good deal. Good deal. We're going to keep going then. Next, what we have to do is we're going to rewrite it. That means we have 0.8. That's 20 divided by 25, 0.8 times 3.27. All right, great. We're going to multiply 3.27. That's the gas per gallon times 0.8. Now, we're not going to worry about the decimal till the end, and we have to count our places. So let's just multiply as usual. 7 times 8 is 56. Great. 8 times 2 is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 8 times 3 is 24, 25, 26. Now we have to count our decimal places. We have 2 decimal places, DP decimal places, 1 decimal place. So that is 3 decimal places. So that's how far we have to go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. We end up with 2.616. Now remember, we're talking about money. So we only need to go to the hundredths place. But let's round. I look to my number next door. Since 6 is 5 or larger, we're going to say we need $2.62. Perfect. You are going to try this one by yourself. I'm going to give you some time. We're going to go now from Split Rock Lighthouse State Park to Jay Cook State Park. I've been there hundreds of times when I lived in Minnesota. It's right near Duluth. We're going to go 80 miles. And what should we say it's going to cost the gas? Let's make this 29. Okay, so gas is $3.29 a gallon. I'm going to give you some time here, and then we will work it together. Okay. Hello to my viewer. I have one viewer. Yay! I'm so happy you're here. Welcome. Did I spell that right? L-B-A-L. Okay. Give you a little time to do this one. Great. Oops, sorry. Too much stuff. Give you a little more time if you're curious. I actually live in Fairbanks, Alaska. I was born and raised in Minnesota, so I know all of these state parks. They're beautiful, beautiful. If you or maybe your teacher is interested, I'm going to have a whole set of these worksheets for every state in the union. So far, I haven't uploaded them yet. You can either go to Teachers Pay Teachers, or you can go to Creative Fabrica. And if you have an account, you're a member, which is pretty cheap, you can get them for free. But like I said, I'm slowly getting them done, slowly uploading them. So I hope you enjoy. Let's try this one together. First of all, we have to actually write out our formula, our equation. Now we are going to go 80 miles, and it's 25 miles per gallon. Now remember on your worksheets, if you're curious about these places, just click map link. And we're going to multiply by $3.29. Now I'm going to be honest, I'm just guessing what this is in Minnesota. I'm not sure what it is here right now, but depending on where you are, it might be more, might be less. But this is kind of a nice average, I think. Now we're going to take 25 divided into 80. All right. Now, how many 25s are in 80? Well, I know that 3/4 is 0.75. It's 75 cents. If I have 4/4, well, that is $1, and that would be too much. So I think we're going to go with 3/4. And I'm just going to show you here that it works. 25 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. 3 times 2 is 6, 7. All right, we're going to subtract 75. And I'm going to borrow here. 10 minus 5 is 5. Well, I'm going to have to put a decimal here. Bring the decimal up. Now I'm going to bring down my zero. So much work for this little one. Now, how many 25s are in 50? Well, if 2/4 is 75, pardon me, if 3/4 is 70, oh my goodness, 3/4 is 75 cents, then 2/4 is 50 cents. So we're going to be using 2/4 today, 2 25s. Sorry, I'm going to try to squeeze that in there. All right, so instead of writing 80 over 25, we're going to write 3.2 times. Now we decided, or I decided, the gas is going to be $3.29 a gallon. All right, so let's multiply that together. You're going to notice that I like to put the number with the most digits first, and then this one second. I just find for me it's easier to multiply like that. So like I said, I like to put the number with the most digits first, and then less digits or whatever second. Now we're not going to worry about the decimal till the very end when we have to count them. So let's multiply. 9 times 2 is 18. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 2 times 3 is 6. We need to add a 0 here. 3 times 9 is 27. All right. 3 times 2 is 6, 7, 8. 3 times 3 is 9. All right. Now we're going to add straight down. 8 plus 0 is 8. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And 9 plus 1 is 10. Now you should know that I can do all kinds of math. I can go calculus. I could do lots of stuff. But for the life of me, I have the hardest time adding. That's why you see me making dots here. And you know what? If you have to do it, that's totally cool, as long as you get the right answer, right? We're going to move 2 places here for my decimal point. DP is decimal point. 1 place here, decimal point. That means we need to move 3 places for our decimal point. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3. This gives us 10.528. Now remember, we're talking money, so we're only going to go to the hundredths place. So let's see if we have to round. I underline the hundredths place. I look to the number next door. Since 8 is 5 or larger, I have to add 1 to my underlined spot. That means it's going to take $10.53 approximately for the gas between Split Rock Lighthouse State Park and Jay Cook State Park. How'd you do? Hopefully you did awesome. But guess what? There's one more. We're not done with our little traveling adventure. You're now going to go from Jay Cook State Park, where we are now, to Itasca State Park. So we're making kind of a big loop. The distance is 150 miles. And let's see, what should we put for our price for gas? Let's say it is 78. All right, there we go. All right, I want you to try this one by yourself. I'll give you a couple minutes, but don't worry. We're going to work it together. Definitely, we're going to work it together. Just asking if there's any questions out there. All right, I think we're going to do this one. Let's write out our formula. We're going to have 150 miles. Now we're getting 25 miles per gallon times 378, because that's how much the gas is when we filled up. We need to convert 150 divided by 25. I believe we might have already done this, but it doesn't hurt to do it again. 150. Okay, so 25 doesn't go into 1. 25 doesn't go into 50. But how many 25s are in 150? Well, let's talk about quarters again. There are 4 quarters make $1. Okay. Now, I should have said that's the same thing as 100. If I have 5 quarters, that's going to be $1.25, which is 125. If I have 6 quarters, that's $1.50, which is the same thing as 150. And that's what we're going to use. We're going to use 6. Now let me just show you that it works. 25 times 6. 5 times 6 is 30. 6 times 2 is 12. 13, 14, 15. And yay, we did it. Minus 150. Okay, so what is our equation going to look like now? It's going to look like 6 times $3.78. 3.78. We're going to multiply times 6. Okay, 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 7 is 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. 6 times 3 is 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, how many decimal places do we have? We have 1, 2, 2 decimal places here. None here because remember, here's our decimal place. So we're going to move 2 places. 1, 2. All right, so that is going to cost us $22.68. I wonder how much this whole trip is going to cost us. Well, $22.68. I'm going to add $22.68. So I'm just going backwards to add our money together. 8, 9, 10, 11, 6, 11, 12. Now I'm adding, so I lined up my decimal places. 2 plus 1 is 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. All right, so we have $33.21. Let's go to this one. We're going to add $33.21. Once again, I'm lining up my decimal places. So 2 plus 1 is 3. 6 plus 2 is 8. 6, 7, 8. Bring down my decimal point. 2 plus 3 is 5. And then we have 3. 35.83. 35.83. Try to remember that. 35.83. Let's do it right here. 35.83. And we're going to add these together. I'm actually going to, I think I'm going to write it right over here. 23.70 plus 35.83. Okay, 8 plus 7 is 15. And oh, Catherine, remember to bring down your decimal. 3 plus 5 is 8 plus 1 is 9. 2 plus 3 is 5. Now we're going to add the last one. We have $59.53 so far. I'm going to add the last money. Let's see. That's when we went from Itasca State Park to Voyagers. And that is $23.40. 5 plus 4 is 9. Bring down the decimal. 9 plus 3 is 12. 5 plus 2 is 7. Plus 1 is 8. So how much is it going to cost us to do this whole roundabout? Approximately, not exactly, but approximately $82.93. Now that's just for the gas. That does include, if you stay at a campground or, if you what you're going to eat and stuff like that. But $82.93 is what we'll pay to go from Itasca State Park, follow through some different state parks, and end up back at Voyagers National Park. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, and I'll see you next week on the live Thursday math review.